Hello and welcome to CAD for Horticulture. Today we're going to work on the Properties menu. First thing to know is the Properties menu resides on the Home tab. It's over here in the Properties panel. And it'll give you information such as color, line weight, and line type. So let's talk about color first. Here we're looking at our defaults. Our defaults are coming straight off of the layers over here. So the labels layer is blue. That's why we're seeing a blue swatch. And our color is set up by layer. So anything that we're drawing on is going to be all by layer. We can go down here and select something. Let's pick this line down here. So now it's saying that we're still by layer. The layer is L-0 and line weight is by layer, and fence line 2. Sometimes, depending on your line type scale, it will not show up correctly in model space, but you can go down into your layout and it will show correctly when you go to print. Just something to be aware of. Each line type will have its own line type scale that you just need to be accustomed to and how that's going to print for you. But we can override things. We can go here instead of by layer, we can go and turn it to red, or we can turn it into magenta just by picking things on the fly here from the pull down menu. Line weights, this is not the best way to select line weights for your drawings. There's so many interfaces and options that control how AutoCAD prints line weights that this is probably the most unreliable way to select line weights. We'll show you a much better way here in a couple lessons. So stay away from this one. And then the actual line types that we talked a little bit about. It'll show you what is preloaded into your drawing. Usually if it's a new drawing, there's only a few things loaded, but you can always hit the other and simply select load and then pick whatever line types you like. I like to stick with the simple named line types that they work best in architectural units. So we can pick this dash dot, say OK. Then when I come under here, I'll scroll down here and there's my dash dot. Next thing I want to show you is the Properties menu that kind of flies out here. So we click on this little down arrow and here is our Properties menu, kind of the full thing. Right now we have no selections, so it's again showing us our defaults. If I go over here and pick on a line, then it'll give us all the information about that line, and we can edit most of this information on the fly here by entering things. Change the layers, the color, etc. I'll hit escape, and then I'll go over to this next one, so I can kind of tell you a lot about various components within your drawing. If I click on the hatch, it'll take a second, but then it tells us that we're in a gradient spherical type hatch, and so we can change this just about to anything that we need here through this menu, including the colors. Also will give us the area of hatches. So if you're doing takeoffs, this is a great place to get some information about your takeoffs. If you select more than one thing, so let me zoom out a little bit. I'm going to dock this. There's some docking options. Here's auto hide. And then if you click on this, it has a bunch of options on how this is shown on the screen. I'm just going to go mount this over to the side here. That's where I like to have it sitting. I can go ahead and use a crossing window and select the bottom half of this drawing. When I go over to properties, it says I have 499 objects selected. If I click down here, it kind of categorizes everything, so I can filter out just what I want. Say if I pick my text and I realize that I want my text to be a little bit smaller, instead of 1 feet in height, I can say 9 inches. And then globally, I can change everything to 9 inches. So that's a really quick way to do some editing in your drawing.